Okay then, dear sir, my screen recording made 3.3 video and I compressed it. Yes, same. And I tried to, Gladwin is coming. I tried to record this Windows screen in the laptop, screen grab. But what they did is they don't have, I have to pay the money in order to get the full unlimited screen recording time. Unless if you're not paying it, which one? Morning show. No. I'm just asking, Akhil. Like, if you are using Chrome, there is an extension. No, you add extensions, right? You add extensions, and by adding extensions, by adding extension to Chrome, you can record, right? Cash would be what? Where is the cash, man? Yes, our strawberry shortcake is here. Strawberry shortcake names. Rich alle unna. Yeah, rich. See, தாடி வடிக்காம பேசுது. No money, money. Sister தான். Oh yeah. Okay. Sister is setting up another thing. Tata, Tata, they are consultancies. Tata consultancies, they are trying to set up a room specifically for this. Okay, purpose recording, and yeah, I'm telling you the truth. This is all secrets, but I am telling you guys. Okay, studio, yes, studio. They are going to set up a studio in our school. The planning, they are mediations, everything can be learned. In fact, what if there is a language lab? There are in big schools and all, not big schools. Every school should have a language lab. By the way, okay, for your information, there is a language lab, and according to CBSE, there should be a language lab. If you have a language lab, everything is possible. You don't have to get a consultancy or anything like that. Okay, the recording of voice and disseminating of the voice. And you might have seen Phillips and the Monkey Pen, the movie The Phillips and the Monkey Pen. Have you? How many of you have seen it? Huh? Yes. In that there is a radio, right? Yes, Phillips and the Monkey Pen. There's a school. In that school there is a radio, and the child artist. That there is a new film called Phillips and the Monkey Pen. Okay. Yes. In that the movie, the same thing. Like you can the same way. There is a radio station. There is a radio for the school, just like that. These are all done by the language lab, language club. Okay. So let's start. It's already 1:41. I have lost my 10 minutes. So let's start. Okay. Only 38 people. Many of them hasn't joined. So I'll take the lesson. Here we were talking about yesterday. I showed you a video. Though that video has been uploaded in my classroom, Google Classroom. So those who haven't joined it, I have already sent you all. Those who have given me the email IDs, I have sent you invites. So just accept that invite and join my classroom, and you will get all the materials over there, and even the videos. That's why I am resorting only to lecture. Okay. What is it tomorrow? What is it tomorrow? It's not Google Classroom. And one thing that Google Classroom can't do is this thing, live chat. Live chatting is not possible in Google Classroom, but I can give you all the materials and the videos that I am trying to show you. Yesterday I tried to show you some videos by sharing my screen and all. So while sharing the screen, it will take a lot of thing. Yeah. So not Google Play reviews. No. you will no, because they updated it and then something happened with the Google Classroom. Those who were having the older version were having it, but when you download it now, it is no problem. Okay. So who joined right now? Jam. Who's that? Can't hear you. Why? Arya. Okay. Rihanna. Okay. Judith, you can't hear me. How many of you can't hear me? Huh? Judith, hello, she. Appa പിന്നെ എങ്ങനെ how did you came to know that I asked this question? Idiots. Okay. Stuck. Okay. Yes. So let's start. 41. 41 is there. And that one is me. Two is me, right? Don't why matter? I'm getting a little bit. Okay. Okay. So let's start. Okay. So pleasantries aside, so I'm going to take the class. So we are going into the Vistas. That is chapter 7. Ashwini is coming. Wait. Let me admit. So half an hour later, I won't admit anyone. Okay. I'm telling you that. Yes, Ashwin and Ajit, welcome. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Ra, Ashwin, mute your mobile.
Huh?
Mute your phone. Type. Yes, Ajit. Hi. Let's see. So we were talking yesterday. We had a short video of a lesson, Advanced Tries and O level. Why I took it as a second lesson, because it's a very important lesson in this in your English. Okay, for your English language and literature. Flamingo and Vistas. Out of these two books, this one is considered to be one of the most important lessons. It's a very big lesson, a little bit twisted, as I told you before. Many of you might have read it already. So it's a little bit confusing also. Okay, a lot of characters are there. Even though character-wise, it's only having a little bit character, but the characters mainly the character Evans has got a lot of deviations in his character. He changes a lot. He goes to many places. He schemes many things in his life. Okay, the whole thing is his setup. From the start itself is his setup. Okay, that is how the story evolves. Even though the story begins by a phone call going to the Department of Education, telling that a prisoner wants to write an O level in German language. So this guy, he is a very famous prisoner. So the superintendent, that is the governor of the jail, is not fully trusting this particular person. So what happens is, you finish that lesson. You might have read it, others might not have read it. Okay, we didn't finish it. Okay. Yes. So just let me finish it, and then you can read it, and all these things will be there. And okay. Okay. Arun is coming. Yeah. This is not fair, guys. Yeah, I don't know. It is 1:30. Okay, it is now 1:47. I know that you might have got up at 1 o'clock. So, it is for flow kalai okay. Don't please. Albutam, yeah, 1 o'clock and any 7. You got up at 1 o'clock. Okay. Yes. So we were right where we stopped because before we went for lockdown, we stopped at a juncture where the best. Yeah. Kandapore, you can. It is best that you see me. Uh, that is what happened, Judith? Eh? What happened, Judith? Yeah, caption. Yeah, yes, that is a good idea. That is a good idea. Okay, switch on the captions so that you can read whatever I am saying. Even if you can't hear, you can read because I'm speaking in English. So captions might work. Yeah, because when you speak in Malayalam, caption will go haywire. But if I'm speaking in English, somewhat you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, captions might work. Okay, yes. So let's come back to the lesson. So this governor is not fully trusting Evans. So he's having a lot of doubts. Why is he so doubtful about Evans? Is that because he tried thrice to get out of that jail, to break the jail. So that's why he was called Evans the Break. Okay, that's how he got the nickname Evans the Break. Got it? So these are the things that sets the scenario for the lesson. Evans tries an O level. Okay, so from the first, I told you from the first itself, it's a setup. How? How is that a setup? Because the instructor who came to teach Evans is a friend of Evans. That is how he schemes a break away. Okay, that is how he schemes a breakaway. So everything he does it to the dot. Evans was planning it for a long time. He took his own time. That's why he tried to break the jail thrice. Okay, he wanted to be a free bird. He didn't want to confine himself into a small square block or a small square cell. He didn't want to confine himself into a small square cell. He wanted to break himself free. He wanted to be a free bird. Okay, he was a petty thief. He was a kleptomaniac. Okay, he was a kleptomaniac. He was a free bird. So he wanted to be free, even though he knew that the kleptomania was a disease. It was a disorder that he was having, and once he meet a good doctor, he can cure him. Okay, so he believed that. So a kleptomania is considered to be not to be a criminal. It's considered to be a patient. He is having a disorder, right? So he considered to himself to be a patient and not a criminal. So he wanted to be free from that jail. So that's why he tries to break thrice. And while trying to break thrice, he came to understand what all things he have to scheme or what all things he has to plan in order to break away from the jail. And the same thing, when you compare the characters of Evans and the governor, we can find that Evans was outsmarting everyone. Okay, he was outsmarting everyone, and the governor was a little bit overconfident. Okay, he thought that he had taken all the precautions. He had taken all the precautions to stop Evans from breaking free from the jail. That was the one downfall that the governor had. Okay, overprotective and overconfident make people do mistakes, lots of mistakes. That is the one thing that you all should understand. Okay, so same thing, same way, Evans. here he schemes, he plans everything. The three times that he tried to jump the jail, with that three times he had the experiences, and all the from these experiences he learned a lot. And with the help of his friends, he made a lot of friends when he went outside the jail. With the help of all these friends, what he did is he made a very big scheme. Okay, he planned it to the dot, which means to the minute detail. From the first instance where he decided to learn German, from there itself, he was planning. Okay, that is the big plan of events. So this was not understood by the governor, even though he was suspicious. Even though the governor was suspicious of Ivan's doings, he was really confident. He was overconfident that he is a very good governor, and he no one can escape from his prison. The prison that he governs, no one, none can escape. That was the overconfidence that the governor had upon himself. That was the downfall of the governor. Okay, so we reached till where the McLeary, that is the person, the invigilator who came from Saint Max parish, where the McLeary is a priest over there. So he was assigned the duty of the invigilator. So, with the help of his friends, Evans came to know who was coming to invigilate. If a request was made, who will be sent to invigilate and everything. He came to know about all these things, and he foresaw all these things. He foresaw, which means മുൻകൂട്ടി കണ്ടിരുന്നു, foresaw all these things, and he had made a grand plan. Okay, so by this foreseeingness, he was able to jump the jail. And jumping the jail is the most Confucius thing in this whole chapter, right? If you have gone through the lesson, I think many of you might have gone through the lesson. Okay, so by going through this lesson, you might have understood that it is a little bit confusing, right? Yes. So the governor, he didn't trust at all. Pig blood. Yeah, pig blood. Yes. How did he get the pig blood? How did he get the pig blood? Yes. Come on, Abhijit. How did he get the pig blood? How did he bring? How did McLeary bring the pig blood? Huh? Yes. In the rubber tube. Yes. Rubber tube. So, why did McLeary bring the rubber tube? Can anyone answer? What was yeah, piles? Joel Jace was the first person to answer that. Very good, Joel. Yes, very good. And climax, it's already there in the book. What is there for climax and all? Okay, so this rubber tube was brought in. So what were the contents? Let me ask you all one thing. What were the contents of the suitcase that McLeary was having? Paper knife, okay. Akhil, tube, okay. Alushi, okay. Tube. Everyone is having rubber tube. Okay, now I understood rubber tube. Rubber tube is off the list. Anything next? Other things. I hope that you all having your textbooks with you. Pen knife already said. Bible, yes, very good. Alfin. Question paper, Akhil, very good. Sealed cover, yes, Aloshi, correct, very good. Question paper, sealed question paper, okay, very good. Then Bible, then a small book is there. Specs, okay. Then answer sheet, yes, shake. Yes, answer sheet, yes. Anything else? Aida. There is a magazine. Name of the magazine. Who can tell the name of the magazine? Magazine. Name of the magazine. I want the name of the magazine. Check your book. Name of the magazine. Nikhile, Arun, name of the magazine. No one? Ah, Joyle, come on, tell me the name of the magazine. Huh? I can only see two lines. Church Times, Hannah, very good. Hannah, very good, very good. Church Times, yes. Church Times. Okay, so these are the things that he was carrying, and the reading glass was not inside the bag, it was on him. McCleary was carrying it in his pocket. Okay, the reading glass. It was not inside the suitcase. Okay, so yes, till there we reached, and he started. Our hero started writing the exam, and suddenly he asked for a. And by the way, the governor had taken all the precautions. I said the governor had taken all the precautions. He had bugged the cell where he was giving the examination, and he had made Jackson stand near to his cell, and Stephens was watching from a little bit far away. And every 5 minutes, Jackson will peep into the cell to see if everything was going on correctly. Before that, Jackson was standing inside the cell, but at the request of Evans, Jackson was made to go away from the cell, and only Evans and McCleary were left inside the cell. And once Jackson left, every 5 minutes, Jackson used to come inside and see what is happening. Nothing much happened inside the cell because McCleary. Who's that? Nimmeltown? Very late. 2 o'clock it is. My dear Nimmel, it is 2 o'clock, boy. Okay, 1:30 I started. Huh? Don't be like this next time. Okay, be sharp. On dot. 2 late. No, 3 late. 3 late. 3 late. Okay. So he had taken all the precautions, and Lizzie James coming again? Why? What happened? Why, miss? Why should I admit you? Only you want to spy upon me? Huh? Lizzie James, miss, welcome to the show. So, so yeah, coming back to the point. Okay, this guy. Yes, Miss Lizzie James has left the meeting. Why? Are you? You can stay, no problem. You can spy how much you want, no problems for me. Okay then. So we are here at page number. And yes, so all the precautions were taken. His cell was bugged, and everything was taken off from his hands, his razor, all the things that with which he could hurt the invigilator or try to make an escape. Everything was taken off from his cell. Everything was spick and span. Everything was cleaned. Everything was taken off from his cell in order to make him suffocate. Okay, in a way, he was being suffocated by the prison authorities over there. Okay, but governor didn't want to leave any stone turned because he knew the person Evans. Okay, he thought that he knew the person Evans, but we will come to know if he knew or not. Okay, so he tries to write the examination, but because of the disturbances that Jackson was providing, he was not able to concentrate properly. So he requested Jackson to be away from the prison, and the governor told Jackson that the whole thing was taken care of, so don't worry about it, and the prison wall cannot be jumped over. So everything was taken care of. So he was having a double lockdown. Okay. Okay, so our Evans was in a double lockdown, in fact. Okay, so everything was secured, and Evans started his examination. And suddenly, in between the examination, the governor got a call from the examination center telling him that there is a slight change in certain questions. And the governor, again doubtful, thinking why is there a change and all, he allows he allows and transfers the call to Stephens to let know that there is a change in the question paper. And doubtful, the governor being doubtful again tries to call the number of the department, and he finds the engaged tone. He hears the engaged tone that he gets back to this phone. So he understands that, yes, he understood that the call was being made from the department itself. But in fact, it was not so. Everything was being staged by Evans and his friends. Evans wouldn't have been able to jump the or break the jail without the help of his friends. He had lots of friends, and you will come to know about that to the end of the lesson. Okay, so McCleary was given the change in the topic and the change in the question paper, and again the microphone crackled, and the governor could hear that McCleary was giving in the changes. Okay, till there we reached, right? Or did we reach any further? Did we reach where McCleary was found in bloodbathing? No. Okay. So, so Jackson was given the information to get Stephen. Sorry, I confused with the names. It was Stephen who was standing near the cell, and Jackson was overlooking him. So it was Stephens who was standing near the cell, and he was given the permission to come back, and they were left alone. So at 9:40 a.m., the examinations board rang through, and the assistant secretary with special responsibility for modern languages asked to speak to the governor. The examination had already started, no doubt, a quarter of an hour ago. Yes, well, there was a correction slip which some fool had forgotten to place in the examination package. Very brief. Could the governor please? So that all finished, right? The governor was given an instruction, and the change was made, and the change was given to the uh, examinee, that is Evans. The governor listened and smiled. He had taken German in the sixth form himself. So the governor knew German as well. Okay. So why German is the question. Okay. Yes, page number 78 it is. Page number 78 it is. Okay. Why the German lesson? This the whole story happens in Britain. Okay. The whole story happens in Britain. It's a European country, and there are several countries nearby to Britain, and most Britishers, that is not Britons, Britishers, most Britishers, they take French as second language. Then why did Evans take German? That's the question. Why didn't he take French? Why didn't he take any other language? Why German? Because he knew that the governor had studied German in his lower classes. He knew that the governor knew German. In order to mislead the governor, he took German. Okay, that is the biggest thing. See, that's why I told you our hero Evans, he has planned to the dot. Okay, he had Naijo. Why is Naijo coming? Isn't Naijo Joseph? Where is Gio? Gio, you went from there. Ah, yeah, I know. Geo's Shatran is Naijo. Ah, left and he came back as Naijo. Okay. Okay. So where was I? Where was I? Ah, German. Why he took German? Ah, switch off the phone, microphone. Yes. Why he took German? He had planned to the dot. He had planned to the dot. Evans had planned to the dot in the Varnanel. He had bisected and dissected and everything. Whatever he can do with the plan, he had done that. And he had learned every bit. So, in order to mislead all the people, he wanted all the details. And he knew that the governor knew German. That is why he took German. And the instructor that was kept for our dear Evans to learn German was also a friend of Evans who helped him. That's why the first instance when we are introduced to Evans, we can hear his friend as the instructor giving him all the best, good luck. He wishes him good luck in his endeavor. And the endeavor is nothing else the breaking of prison by Evans. Okay, so everything was planned from the first itself. So the first quarter of an hour, Stephens had dutifully peered through the peephole at intervals of 1 minute or so, and after that, every 2 minutes. At 10:45 a.m., everything was still all right as he looked through the peephole once more. It took 4 or 5 seconds, no more. What was the point? What was the point of doing all these things? Whenever he was looking inside the cell, the person or the guy writing or the person the prisoners were taking care of so immensely, he was doing the same. He was sitting as if he has already failed in everything, right? And suddenly, at 10:50 a.m., the receiver crackled to life. Okay, and the governor realized he had almost forgotten Evans for a few minutes. Nothing was happening inside the cell, and suddenly the receiver crackled, and he could hear Evans speaking. Please, sir. First, a whisper. മെല്ലെ പതിയെ അതിനുശേഷം കുറച്ചും കൂടി ഒച്ച കൂട്ടിയിട്ട് പ്ലീസ് സർ would you mind if I put a blanket around me? So he was feeling a bit cold. And why is that so? Because of the block, right? The cell was standing inside the block where it was a little bit chilly at some times. Battery low, shutting down. Alfin, I told you this is the. I gave you strict instruction reminders, right? To charge your phones and everything. Charge it, put it in charge and see. Okay, he went. Yeah, 43 only now. It's best. Okay, so same thing goes on, and Evans wants a blanket so that he could be a little bit hot. He could feel a little bit hot. At 10:51 a.m., Stephens was more than a little surprised to see a grey regulation blanket draped around Evans' shoulders, and he frowned slightly and looked at the examinee more closely. So every action that Evans was making, they were making. He was making all the other authorities of the prison doubtful. Okay, because he had a very bad history with them. He had tried to escape 3 times, and he had failed 3 times. So they thought that this was a gimmick by Evans. So when Stephens looked through the peephole, he could see. He could see. Okay, Don. No problem. If you're going off, no problem. Okay. So he could see Ivan sitting inside the cell, draping a blanket around him and sitting again. So he was doubtful if he should inform the seniors or not. But still, he was not going to do anything. At 11:20 a.m., the receiver once more crackled across the silence of the governor's office, and McCleary informed Evans that only 5 minutes remained. The examination was almost over now, but something still gnawed away quietly in the governor's mind. Gnawed, GNAWED, കാർന്ന് തിന്നുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് അർത്ഥം. Gnawed away quietly in the governor's mind. He reached for the phone once more. Okay, at 11:22 a.m., Jackson shouted along the corridor to Stephens. The governor wanted to speak with him. So this governor was really doubtful about all the actions. So, no problem. It's okay. I'm sitting in my home, no problem. Okay. Worky Joseph. Who's Worky Joseph? Yada Adon. Adon, eh? Is this the time to come? Eh? Okay. എന്റെ ടച്ച് വിടൂ ഇപ്പൊ ഫ്ലോ കളയല്ലേ വിശാൽ is scoring. Okay. Okay. Stephens was called. Yes, Stephens was. Thank you, Akil. Thank you very much. No, sorry. 44 people. Okay, 44 people. When school reopens, you have to get 44 lollipop. 44 lollipop. Okay. Yes, 44 lollipop. Okay, 44 lollipop. And distribute. See all these names over here? Get all of them one lollipop each. That is the punishment for you. Coming late. Okay. Reopens. Yeah. It will reopen in June 1st. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Coming back. Stop. All of you. Okay.
Yes.
Who said that? September. Switch off your microphone. Don't you? If anyone again switches their microphone again, they will also have to bring lollipops. I'll tell you that. Again. Yes. So Stephens was called again, and Jackson called upon Stephens and asked asked him to come back. The governor wanted to speak to him. The governor wanted to speak with him. Hurry, man. Stephens picked up the phone apprehensively and listened to the rapidly spoken orders. Stephen himself was to accompany McCleary to the main prison gates. Understood. Stephens personally was to make absolutely sure that the door was locked on Evans after McCleary had left the cell. Understood. Okay, so two things. The governor wanted Stephens to do two things. Accompany McCleary towards the door outside and personally lock the cell where Evans was writing the examination. Two things that he had to do. Understood. So everything was understood, and at 11:25 a.m. the governor heard the final exchanges. That is the last thing. Stop writing. That was what McCleary said. And then silence. McCleary, put your sheets in order and see they are correctly numbered. Silence. Scraping of chairs and tables. And Evans, thank you very much, sir. McCleary, all right. Was it? Evans, not too bad. McCleary, good. Mr. Stephens. So everything was done and dusted. McCleary asked Evans to pack everything properly and hand it over back to him. And then he asked Evans how the exam was, if it was okay for him. And also he asked, Evans said that it was all right. It was not that good. It was all right. And McCleary said, okay, good. That was it. That's all. The whole thing is finished. Now, Mr. Stephens. Yeah, he calls upon Mr. Stephens. The governor heard the door clang for the last time. The examination was over. How did he get on, do you think? asked Stephens as he walked beside McCleary to the main gates. So, this was the order of the governor. Stephens was supposed to accompany McCleary towards the outside gate, right? So, oh, I cannot think he's this distinguished himself. I'm afraid. His Scots accent seemed broader than ever, and his long black overcoat, reaching almost to his knees, fostered the illusion that he had suddenly grown slimmer. So while he was walking along beside McCleary, Stevens noticed something wrong in the appearance as well as in the accent. That is, the way he was pronouncing words. He found that his Scott accent, that is, Scottish accent, was a little bit broader, not like the McCleary he had met some time before. Stephens was the person who accompanied McCleary from the gate to the prison. Now he is accompanying back from the prison to the gate also, right? So he found something wrong with the appearance as well as the way he was speaking. McCleary was speaking. And suddenly he also noticed that his overcoat was going below the knee level too. So he thought that it gave the idea that McCleary had suddenly gone a little bit slimmer. He had gone a little bit slimmer. So these all things was there in his Stephens's mind. Stephens felt pleased that the governor had asked him and not Jackson to see McCleary off the premises. And all in all, the morning had gone pretty well. So they were a little bit satisfied. He had locked the cell where Evans was, and he was accompanying McCleary towards the gate, where the governor had asked him specifically, not Jackson, who was his superior, who was Stephen's superior. He had not asked Jackson to do that. But in fact, the governor had asked him personally to accompany McCleary. So he was happy a little bit. So he left that thought from his mind. Okay, he left that thought away from his mind because he was a little bit happy because everything had gone how they should have been. Okay, but something stopped him from making his way directly to the canteen for a belated cup of coffee. Suddenly, something had came in his mind. Otherwise, after seeing McCleary off outside, he would have gone back to the canteen to have a cup of coffee. But instead of going to the canteen, he came back to the cell where Evans was locked. Okay. And but something stopped him from making his way directly to the canteen for a belated cup of coffee. He wanted to take just one last look at Evans. It was like a program he had seen on TV. Suddenly, something in his mind struck. A chord in his mind struck about a woman who could never really convince herself that she had locked the front door when she had gone to bed. Often she would get up 12, 15, sometimes 20 times to check the bolts. Yes. Sometimes people have this habit. Okay. I think it was there in a movie or something like that. I don't know which movie. I can't remember the movie right now. But there was a person, a condition. Everyone has this condition. When you grow older, you also will get this condition. When you grow older, you will feel that you have done something, but you will feel.
Yeah.
Switch off the microphone. Donna,
Yeah.
who's switch on the microphone?
Yeah, no, sorry. Sorry.
Are Grace. So I will. Okay. Oh. Okay. Yes. Yeah, flow boy. Lollipop. Yes, I don't. Yes. Lollipop. Bring lollipop. Now it is 45. 45 lollipop. Grace. Okay. Page number is 81. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you very much. 81. So suddenly he had this intuition, like people, like people, sometimes if you have in the night when we are about to go, if we are going to sleep, we will feel, even though we will switch off the gas stove and gas cylinder and all, we will feel that have we switched off it? When we lie down, suddenly in between the sleep, they will jump up and go and check the gas stove as well as the gas cylinder if it has been switched off properly or not. It's a condition, okay? Because we are overprotective. Certain people are overprotective. What they do is they have this tendency to check and recheck. The same intuition, the same intuition was what happened to the neck. Okay, is that the phobia? Is there a phobia like that? I don't know. I don't know about that. But there is a condition. Yes, I know that there is a condition. Okay. So this is the same condition over here. Okay. So, Madi, stop. So same condition is having the same condition is over here also. So what happens is he Stephens had this small intuition. G GK stop. Okay. Otherwise, I will make it 5-star for you. Okay. So, where is he? Oh, let me check it. Yes, here it is. He checks over there, and he rechecks. Yeah. He gets the intuition. Stephens gets the intuition, and he goes and checks the cell if it is logged properly or not. He wanted to see the cell if it was logged properly or not. So he goes to the cell where Evans was logged. He wanted to take just one last look at Evans. It was like a program that he had seen in the TV, where the woman is checking if the door has been bolted or not. Nanda don't do. Okay. He re-entered D wing. Yeah, guys, I forgot to tell you, Abhinav, he's fine. He talked to me and he's feeling really fine. But he was a little bit sedative at that time when he spoke to me. And I told his father not to give the phone to him. Okay. So that's why I'm recording it right now. For him also. That is why I'm recording. Okay. So it was a serious issue. That's why I didn't give any details for you all. It was a little bit serious. He had a 6 centimeter growth, okay, behind his head. That is where in between the cerebellum and the cerebellum. That I don't know what the technical thing and all, but it was attached to the brain. Okay, the growth, and they had sent it to biopsy for biopsy if it to see if it is a tumor or not. But the 6 centimeter growth has been fully removed. That is what the doctor said. Okay, it was a very serious operation, very major operation. That's why his father didn't tell his mother also. Okay, he only told us, and it was a very serious issue. Even Abhinav didn't know about it. Okay, much. He was not told much. They said that it was a cyst behind his head. That was why he was having all the problems. Okay. So keep him in his prayers all the time. Okay. And pray for him to get well soon and join us as fast as he can. So coming back to the lesson, he was having this doubt. That's why he came to check the lock of Evans, and he re-entered D wing where the cell was, made his way along to Evans' cell and opened the peephole once more. Okay, when he reached the cell, he wanted to look inside and he opened the peephole. And when he looked inside, oh no, Christ, no. There, sprawled back in Evans' chair, was a man. For a semi-second, Stephens thought it must be Evans. Suddenly, when he looked into it, he thought that he was seeing Evans himself. But it was not Evans. A grey regulation blanket slipping from his shoulders. the of front of his closely cropped, irregularly tufted hair awash. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Don Dominic. Don Dominic. Tundi. Are you hearing me, Don Dominic? സൈക്കിളും പൊക്കി ഇരിക്കുക ഇപ്പോഴും. ഇപ്പോഴും സൈക്കിളും പൊക്കിയാ നിൽക്കണേ. ഡോൺ അല്ല, ഡോണല്ലേ ഇത്? ഡോൺ ഡൊമിനിക് അല്ലേ ഇത്?
അതെ.
എടാ മൈക്രോഫോൺ ഓഫ് ആക്കടാ. ഫൈവ് സ്റ്റാർ കൊണ്ടുവന്നോ റീ ഓപ്പൺ ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് 46 ആക്ക്. ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ യെസ്. അപ്പൊ എത്ര ഫൈവ് സ്റ്റാർ, എത്ര ലോളിപോപ്പ്, അതൊക്കെ നിങ്ങൾ കണക്ക് വെച്ചോളാം. ഓക്കെ, ഓൾ ഓഫ് യു. യെസ്. സോ this was the thing. He was taken aback when he saw someone sprawled, lying, sprawled. Sprawled means, what is meant by sprawled? Huh? Sprawled means sprawl eagle, like this, like that, like this, falling back and lying over there in the chair. Okay. Irregular way, yes, irregular way, or falling back with his legs and hands sprawled. Okay, all over. And from the tufted hair, washed with fierce red blood, everywhere blood was there on his face. So Stephens couldn't make out who he really was, who that person really was. Okay. Suddenly he thought that it was Evans, but he came to know, because it was his body was draped from the shoulder down with the regulation blanket that has been given to Evans from the prison. Okay, and his hair. Oh, late ആയിട്ട് വരുമോ വേണം, ഇത് നേരത്തെ തന്നെ പോവാൻ വേണം അല്ലടാ അശ്വിനെ. അടങ്ങിയിരിക്കെ, ഞാനിത് നിർത്തട്ടെ, ഇത്രയും ഈ ഒരു ഭാഗം കൂടെ നിർത്തിയതിനു ശേഷം വിടാം. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പം so this blanket was lying across the body, and his face and hair and everywhere was having blood all over his face. Okay, which was dripping already through the small black beard and was even now spreading horribly over the white clerical collar and down into the black clerical front. So from the way, that is the beard and the hair and the clerical collar, like in the Western movies and all, you might have seen priests. They have a dress code. They will wear a black coat, black dress, black overcoat, and black shirt. And their collar, in the collar, they will have a white space. Okay, so that is the dress that the priest was wearing, and with the dress, Stephens understood that it was not Evans, it was McLeary, who was lying with a lot of blood flowing from his face in the cell of Evans. So Stephens got the shock of his life. He understood that Evans had already broken the jail. Okay, so we'll stop over here and we'll continue tomorrow, same time. Okay. So same time tomorrow, that is 1:30 to 2:30. Be there, all of you. Don't come late, and don't ask me to stop early itself. Okay. Yeah, in Google Meet itself. Okay. Tata. All of you leave, then only I will leave from here. Okay, no talking.